Thanks.
And I saw on your website that your holistic healing plans take into consideration the 5 pillars of wellness, you call it. Can you elaborate on that and how it's all interconnected, as that's not something that is really factored into when you go see a regular GP? But I know, like many of us in the chronic illness world, find out just how interrelated these 5 areas of life are and the drastic impact they can have on your health if they become unbalanced.
Yeah, sure. So the 5 pillars of wellness are kind of I think most people would agree on these 5 pillars. They're kind of basics or the basis of health and wellness in a way. So the 5 things that I kind of include here are nutrition and hydration, exercise and movement, sleep and relaxation, stress management and resilience, and then kind of relationships and connections. And I just find that, these are the really, as I said, the basis and the things that you need to build on with respect to health and wellness. So obviously sometimes you need to take it a little bit further, but you really need to focus on these first and foremost to get an idea of, what you can move and how far you can move the needle just with these basic protocols. And so I guess the way I like to explain just how important they are is using this kind of tree analogy. I've actually got a cute little picture on my website to describe it too, where you look at you think about I think most people understand this analogy of the roots of a tree being like the roots of chronic illness. And then the branches are any sign, symptom, diagnosis that you may have. So essentially these branches are kind of downstream effects of what's happening at the root level, right? Now, the roots are generally things like the gut health and inflammation are the 2 big ones, probably genes as well, maybe a third one. They're the 3 roots that I talk about often. But what we kind of often don't talk about in that picture is the soil and how important the soil is in nourishing those roots in the tree. And the soil, in my opinion, is these 5 pillars of wellness. And so you can imagine that, if you don't have that nourishment in the soil with the nutrition, the sleep, the hydration, all of these things that are really important, then these downstream effects at the branches can be really significant, both positively and negatively, right? If you actually nourish them, you can have really positive change. And if you don't, you can have really negative outcomes.
I really love that analogy as a green thumb. That's lovely.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, right? I think because
Really
I think a lot of people realize how important soil is for plant growth and tree growth. And so, I think it's a really good way to explain it.
Yeah, love it.